This is James Faris, editor of the Madison Business Review, and today I'm talking with Jillian Lynch to hear more about her story, Will Traditional Retail Survive COVID-19? Jillian, how are you?
Hey, James. I'm doing great.
Great to hear from you. Thanks so much for your time today. I would love for you to tell us a little bit about your article and the research that went into it.
All right. So I wrote an article about e-commerce trends in the U.S. because I was curious what impact COVID-19 would have on e-commerce trends among consumers in the U.S.
Sure.
So going off of that, I was reading this book called Smart Business by Ming Zheng, and it's got a foreword by Jack Ma, who's the CEO of Alibaba. Really cool book. It's available in JMU Library. And in that book, there was this one quote that I read from Jack Ma, and he basically said, he believes that Alibaba is leading the charge on the international e-commerce field, and that, every nation is going to be, the impression I got from the book, I don't have a direct quote, but the impression that I got from the book was that China was this end that we were all going to be approaching. So, in China, the stay-at-home economy is super developed. People don't go out as much, and it's way more common to, online shop, order things on your phone when you need them.
Right. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And for people who don't know, Alibaba is it's a tech and e-commerce giant that many have compared to China's version of Amazon. And as some people may know, since 1977, China's economy has grown faster every single year compared to the United States. Now, it started a lot smaller, and the U.S.'s economy has matured a lot quicker, but the growth rate certainly has been stronger in China. So I think those are interesting trends to watch. So, Jillian, how have consumer buying trends changed in the U.S., specifically since COVID-19 broke out?
That's a good question. Trends in the U.S., I think stuff definitely changed during the virus. There have been monumental shifts in demand for e-commerce products and the type of products that people are demanding. Nobody went clothing shopping during the coronavirus outbreak. People were looking for toilet paper, hand sanitizer. Beyond those basic essentials, people were also looking for comfortable clothing items. They were looking for fresh made bread on Etsy. So some unexpected stuff.
Right. And one thing that companies, for example, Walmart and Amazon with their acquisition of Whole Foods have been trying to get into is grocery delivery. And you touched on in your article how that has really spiked since COVID-19 broke out, and people are giving it a try for the first time. So I think that's fascinating. Now, how have retailers adjusted and maybe changed some of the things they're doing to better reach consumers?
Yeah, absolutely. Grocery has been huge, and it's been a big reason why retailers have been seeing success. You'll read in the article, Walmart and Target, among others, had their e-commerce business explode during the virus. I think Target was over 100% increase in their digital sales, which is super impressive. And a lot of that, again, had to do with grocery and also fulfillment. So Target used their stores, they used their physical spaces that were now empty to aid in the delivery process for their online products that people were ordering.
Sure. And I think, like you mentioned, two of those companies, Walmart, Target, they've been moving into e-commerce as, of course, Amazon has defined and been really a disruptor in the space, and now they kind of own a large part of it. But big businesses have been moving in that direction for years. I mean, Target acquired Shipt in 2017 to better fulfill, curbside pickup and home delivery of goods, and now they're seeing that pay massive dividends. But small businesses, a lot of people are potentially getting left behind. So, Jillian, how can smaller businesses and mom and pop shops get into e-commerce and try and compete with some of these giants?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And Shopify is a model that allows smaller businesses to get on board with the e-commerce platform. I'm not plugging Shopify, but so Amazon is a marketplace model, whereas Shopify is made up of individual shops and sellers. When you make a search on Amazon, if you want to buy like a shirt, you type in shirt into the search box and you get like a million results, and the individual seller is a little like box in the corner. So you're seeing the product before you see the seller. With Shopify, they have these individual shops, and this is assisting small businesses.
Right.
And instead of the product coming first, you're seeing the shop first. So it's like walking into a physical mall and seeing all these different stores and getting attached to the brands. And it's a great way for a small business with a good product to have a chance in the e-commerce market.
Absolutely, Jillian. I think that's really insightful. And just taking a look at Shopify's stock, it opened the year at around $400 per share. Its March low, it came down to around the 320s. And since then, it has taken off like a rocket. And currently, as of June 5th's close, it's at around $727 per share. And as e-commerce continues to grow, I expect that to be a good investment. And of course, investors should do their own research, but that does seem like a smart play potentially for the future. So Jillian, what's the most important thing you learned while writing this? And is there anything that surprised you?
I just want to warn with the Shopify stock, a lot of analysts have said that Shopify could be classified as like a bubble type investment. So if you were looking to invest in Shopify, I would definitely wait more time, because right now it's super inflated. A lot of analysts have said it's overpriced or overvalued.
Sure. That makes a lot of sense. And then as far as what you've learned by writing this article, and is there anything that kind of caught you off guard by that?
I've learned a lot. Even just what e-commerce is. So I had to like clearly define e-commerce for myself, obviously, to make this article good and informative. And learning that e-commerce isn't just online retail, it also encompasses like financial services. It encompasses wholesale. You have places like Shopify. It's huge. And also companies like Amazon, they aren't huge from their e-commerce and retail business. They're huge because of their cloud component like AWS.
Right.
And companies like Shopify are also getting into that like cloud.
Right. And those are definitely trends to watch going forward. Jillian, thank you so much for joining me today. And that is going to wrap it up. This is James Faris, editor of the Madison Business Review, signing off. Investors are always reminded that before making any investment, they should do their own research on any name directly or indirectly mentioned here. Any material discussed here should be considered general information and shouldn't be relied upon as a formal investment recommendation.